Hi everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live. I'm Nancy Novak and you can find me at stampandshout.com. Welcome, it's Wednesday and it's September 5th, which means Stampin Ups holiday catalog is live. If you're not a Stampin' Up demonstrator, if you're a customer, you can start shopping. So I just thought I would show you a little bit about the catalog just really quick, because before today we were not allowed to show you the inside of the catalog. So I just wanted to show you a couple of my favorites, but I'll make it kind of quick. So this is my favorite, I think, right off the bat. It has all of these sentiments, but it has the thinlits that say Merry Holidays, Happy and Christmas. So that's kind of fun. And there's this kind of a cute stamp set, and it comes with a coordinating punch. I know you're not getting the gist of all of this, but let me show you a couple more. If you're into candy canes, we got a candy cane stamp and a candy cane punch. And I wanted to show you two others. This is a cute little, sweet little religious stamp. I love this one. It says Glory to God and Oh Holy Night, and it's got the three wise men. And there's one other religious one. I like this with this angel. And look at this beautiful big word, rejoice. That's beautiful if you emboss that in gold or silver on your card. And then way in the back, we have some Thanksgiving and Halloween. And gorgeous, gorgeous designer series paper. Look at this stamp set. Spooky Sweets. It's got the bats, and it comes with a bat punch. So anyway, if you do not have a Stampin' Up demonstrator and you have not seen this catalog, contact me and I will send you one. I sent out a couple last week. Look at mine, how curled and torn up it is already. I've been looking through it so many times. Also, in the meantime, if you don't have a catalog, go to my blog, www.stampandshout.com, and off to the right you'll see the word catalogs, and you can download it to your computer. So you don't have to wait for a catalog to come in the mail. You can look at it on your computer. But again, contact me and I can send one out to you, no problem. Okay, tonight I have a cute card that I like a lot. It's what I call a Shabby Chic card. I've always wanted to do one like this with the doilies and the distressed look. So that's what I came up with today. So what I'm using tonight is the Coffee Cafe stamp set. I'm using the big coffee cup and the sentiment. Happiness is a cup of coffee shared with a friend. I also am going to use the Love What You Do sentiment for the inside of my card. So here's the inside. So we'll get to that. I'm also using the pearlized doilies and the Coffee Cafe. The Coffee Cafe stamps come with thinlits, so you can cut a lot of fun shapes with those. So let's see here. Let me get my stuff back out. Also using Petal Pairs embossing folder. So this is an embossing folder that comes 2 to the pack, and I'm going to use the floral part of that, and I'm going to use it a lot. So hang on and we'll see what, let me clear a spot here. Okay, so I'm using Very Vanilla for my card base. That's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And then for the inside, I have a matte piece of Rich Razzleberry and a Very Vanilla stamping piece. And for the front, I am just using Rich Razzleberry and a little piece of designer series paper. First thing I'm going to do is stamp my coffee cup. I'm going to do that in crumb cake. So you can bring in a piece of Very Vanilla. Let me bring in my sentiment. So this fits perfectly on this coffee cup. I'll stamp it right in the middle here. There you go. And then I'd bring in my thinlits and cut that out with my Big Shot. And I think I already have that done. There's my coffee cup. So now I'm going to bring in my Big Shot and show you how I distressed all of this stuff. And I'm going to emboss this piece. my little designer series paper strip. And I'm going to emboss my front piece, and I'm going to do that twice so I can get the whole matte piece covered. Okay, there's half of it, really looks neat. And I'm going to do the other half. And you don't have to be perfect with this card because it's just that kind of fun, funky looking card. When you get all done, it's going to have a little bit of torn edge to it. Alright, so that piece is ready to go. And I'm going to take this doily and I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm going to put that in my little embossing folder to give it a little bit of a distressed look also. Okie doke. So these are pearlized, which means it's not gonna, that's why it doesn't really jump off and, you know, really look very bold. But it's very subtle and it's pretty. So now what I did was I played a little bit more with these pieces. And I know there's tools out there for this, but I just took my little X-Acto and I frayed the edges. It's a little razor blade, or they actually make the fraying tool. I think Stampin' Up had one a while ago. It's not a big noticeable effect that I'm doing, but it does make a little difference. So it kind of curls up the paper a little, gives it a little distressed look, and I'm going to do that on this piece also. You can see it a little bit more on here. The white shows through. Okay. So then what I did, put these inside pieces off to the side, we'll come back to those, was I just took some of my snail and I want to attach these doilies to the back. So I put a little bit of snail in the center of this designer strip. And I attached my doilies. Like that. So those will stick. We're going to put more glue on there when we attach them to our card. And so that's going to go like that. And my coffee cup. If I leave that coffee cup again, okay. So what I did for my coffee cup was I put dimensions, excuse me, on the back. So I'm going to put 2 at the bottom, 1 in the middle. And I'm going to put a few up at the top because I'm going to attach some pretty gold thread to it. So I want to make sure I have a few up at the top there to catch that thread. And that's my thought of the steam coming out of the coffee. That's my interpretation. So let me think here. What did I do? I took this pretty velvet ribbon and I laid a strip of it right across here, and I just attached it to the back with a glue dot. let me do one end of that. So I'm just going to put a glue dot there. Attach it to the back. And do the same thing on the other side. So that's just coming right across the center. You could put a couple of glue dots on there, make sure it's going to stick. Okay, so that's going to be like that. So let's attach this piece. Snail this on. You could glue it on if you like to use glue. And put it right in the center. I kind of flipped up the edges so it looked a little bit more distressed. I wasn't worried about it being perfectly flat. And then I'm going to lay this piece down. This one you got to be a little bit more careful with. You got that doily on there. Just be a little bit. Put that right in the center. So I took a piece of that pretty velvet ribbon, and since it's only one-sided, I kind of just, what did I do here? Oh, I know what I did. I just turned it like this, so both sides of the velvet were up, and I crossed it over. I made a kind of a little bow like that. Let me put a couple of glue dots on there, and then I'll tell you what else I did. Put a couple on here, make sure it sticks. And then I'll tell you about that little embellishment that's also on there. That is from the Share What You Love embellishments. It's a pretty box of pretty things. Little paper clips and pretty colors, embellishments, tags. I'll show you in 1 second. Let me just get this on because my fingers are all sticking together right here. Okay, that shouldn't go anywhere now. I got a lot of glue dots on there. So next, let me bring in my coffee cup, and I have my gold thread. And let me take off these top pieces of these dimensionals, get some sticky up there. And then we're just going to loop some of that gold thread up there. So, get it started. Probably can't see this fine thread, but I am just going to make a bunch of loops up here at the top. And attach it, after you loop it, attach it again to those dimensionals. Just make as many loops as you want. Just kind of gives it a little bit more of a fun texture. I think I'll do one more over here. And then trim that off. Whoops. And then attach it to your card. It's very subtle, but it's pretty. So see, can you see that? Look at that pretty little bow there. So going back to the Share What You Love embellishments, it's a set that comes in this pretty box. And inside it has a little baggie of goodies, little tiny pretty paper clips, and all those sticky little gems. That looks like a flower. And then it also has some pretty little tags that you can stamp on with some pretty embellishments. That's kind of a fun thing. Adds a little bit of pizzazz to your card. And let's keep going. Let's do the inside of our card. So I'm going to bring in a magazine and a scrap piece of paper. And I'm going to bring in this big old stamp, and let me put some of this stuff away. And my crumb cake. Okay, so I am going to stamp this up in crumb cake, and I'm going to stamp off. Just kind of stamp it any which way you want in the middle of that card. Just give it a little color. And then I'm going to bring in my sentiment. And I'm going to stamp that in Rich Razzleberry. And put it right in the middle here. It's a beautiful day. And then I took a couple of the flowers. I'm looking for the stamp set so I can show it to you. And I just stamped a few flowers right there. So that's going to be the inside. Let's attach it to the mat. That on the inside, and this card is almost done. There you go. Isn't that pretty? What do you think? I like it. It's kind of fun. I've really not done too many distress cards, but it really is pretty. Okie dokie.